This is Jermaine reporting for the Pound for Pound Boxing Show. I'm joined by heavyweight boxer William Howe. How you doing, mate?
I'm very good, pal. How are you?
I'm very well, man. Very well. Thanks for taking the time to join me, mate.
William.
Yeah. William, I want you to let the viewers know a bit about yourself. For viewers who haven't seen you before, know about your history.
I'm currently a 21-year-old professional heavyweight, boxing out of the northeast. I'm at Billingham Boxing Academy, in Middlesbrough. I was a 4-time national champion, a 3 times British champion as an amateur, 2-time European medalist. I was ranked 4th in the world in the amateurs, and I was a multi-international tournament winner as well.
Brilliant! It's a good record, a good little boxing CV you got there.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about your amateur background. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Do you have like 16 amateur fights? Is that correct, or is it more?
No, I had 38 amateur fights. 38 yeah. I had. I think I lost about 6.
Pretty good record. Pretty good return.
Yeah, of course. I think I had about 20 internationals for England on that record, so I didn't really have many bouts, just national bouts on it, to be honest.
Yeah. And what was your passion? What got you into boxing? How did you first embark on your journey into boxing?
I started when I was about 7. My dad took me, and I went for about 3 weeks. And I was just a kid, really. I was still a bit too young. I was still a bit like, I was still just messing about and not like just whacking bad zigs and stuff like that. And then I went back about 9-year-old. Went back. I had a bit of trouble at school, and a few mates and that were going. So my dad just said, just go. I was never like forced into it or out like that. It was just went. And then a lot of them friends stopped boxing, and I just carried on boxing, and I just fell in love with it, really. I've always boxed. I can't remember a time I haven't boxed, especially now. I've boxed longer than what I didn't know, really. From 9-year-old, it's always been a part of my life. So for me, it's just one of them things that I've just always done.
Yeah, brilliant. And you're 2-0 as a pro. But I want before we get to that, I want to ask a bit about your nicknamed the Bora Baba. Obviously, everyone knows a Rocky movie. Is that what the name came along from, Rocky movies?
Yeah, because where the name actually come from was always when I first was starting off boxing properly, because I was about 14 when I started boxing for England. I'd only had about 7 bouts, and then I was boxing for England, and I was fighting lads. I was only 86 kilo. I was fighting lads like from Belarus, Russia, Ukraine, all these places, and I was 86 kilo, and they were all over 100 kilo, because the category used to be 80 plus. So it was always a war. It was always like a big, like, it was always a brawl. It was always a thing, and I was always like come out on top, but obviously I'd win. And the name just come from that, really, just from them sort of fights. So the Bora Balboa, but it was because it was always like a Rocky movie.
Yeah, that's a fantastic story. Underdog story as well, going over there to those sort of countries and fighting these sort of fighters as well. It sounds like an amazing story as well. But I want to talk a bit about your pro career now. So you're 2-0. You made your debut on the Cruise Zone versus Marshall fight. How was that as an experience? How was that experience fighting on such a massive card for an undisputed world title fight for the women's?
It was a great honour, to be honest. It was an honour to get the chance to box on a show like that. You know what I mean? Not many people get the opportunity, and some people never get the opportunity to do that. So it was a great experience. It was just good to be around everyone and see how people compose themselves, and how a lot of the boxers that you see on the TV, and there's a lot of them are like a lot of it's showing it. It's like show business, so a lot of them are show, but a lot of them are just down to earth, and there was a lot of people there and a lot of characters that you would like talk to and shake their hands, and they were just nice to meet. Like Natasha Jonas was there; she was just nice to meet. Do you know what I mean? Just a normal woman, but obviously you've seen her on telly. She's fighting herself this weekend against Mikel Meyer for a world title, but she was just in the lift. Do you know what I mean? And you were like, I was saying, just talking. Do you know what I mean? So it was a great experience. It's like a bit of a mad one. You don't realise till at the time. You just have to sort of just take it in and go with emotion. But that's one of my big assets. I never ever let the moment get to me.
Yeah. And how much is it having that taste of that experience of going fighting on such a massive card? How much is that giving you the taste to go and maybe potentially feature on some many big cards in the future?
As you say, to feature, my plan is to host the main cards in the future. I think the style I possess, and the way I'm learning at the moment, I don't see why not. I see myself being in huge fights in the future, and fights that'll probably hopefully that'll make my career. So when I'm on something like that, it gives you that drive to go on and do that and do better. Do you know what I mean? You want to excel, you constantly all the time. So it just gives me this constant determination to just go on and be the best possible version of myself, but to go on and have these fights and make these moments and these things that define your career, really.
Yeah. And I understand, I don't know if you're trained or you're coached by Peter Fury, and you're also you must be around the stable of Hughie Fury and Savannah Marshall. So being around that sort of caliber of fighters, how much is that a big experience for you, and how much is it a good drive for you, and how much do you learn from these sort of fighters in your career?
Well, yeah, it was really good. I'm currently back at home at the moment. I'm back at home. I'm back training at Billingham. I've changed the. We've just come back home. I'd had a little baby. With the missus, so I've just come back home for a little while. So yeah. So it's been a bit of a.
Sorry, we must have lost a bit of signal there.
No, it's all right. But when I've obviously been in camp with them and seeing how everything's possessed, how they control a camp and how they take things, and how like Savannah's down to earth. Savannah's like proper, just honestly down to earth, and same with Hughie's so down to earth and just regular people. I think when you talk to them, they all just go on about the same problems and same things and gas and electric and stuff like that. So it's just good to see. It's good to see, but it's good to see. And like I said, they get little niggles in camps on stuff like that and how they deal with it. They don't ever shy away. And I mean, Hughie's a proper warrior. He's had his own problems outside of the ring, but I'm sure he'll be back this year with a bang. And same with Savannah. Savannah's obviously, I don't know what's going to happen with Savannah, but hopefully see her back in the ring very soon. I know everyone be quite eager to see that Clarissa Shields fight again.
Yeah, I mean, there's some massive fights out there for Savannah. Obviously, she's going to be fighting. She's going to be doing MMA soon. I think she's signed up for MMA.
Yeah, so, she is signed up. She is signed up. So I probably think she'll be going down that route. But I wouldn't know. It wouldn't surprise me if she just turned around to boxing in Newcastle against Clarissa Shields or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Or back in the O2 in London and boxing. So I've just it's a bit of a mad one, Savannah, at the moment. I don't know. I think everyone's eager to find out what she's going to do.
Yeah, she's got so many options now, and obviously being undisputed champion, world champion now as well. So it opens up so many doors and opportunities for her. So I'm sure she'll pick the best one what's going to suit her.
Yeah.
I want to talk a bit about. Obviously, you're from Middlesbrough.
Yeah, Middlesbrough.
So are you a Middlesbrough fan, football fan?
Yeah, massive Middlesbrough football fan. Absolutely love the borough.
How do you rate your chances of getting to Wembley next week?
Listen, I work the tunnel. I work the tunnel with the players. And a sponsor and a good friend, Glenn Bartlett, at Close Protection. He's given me a great job working, and I'm literally in the tunnel. So obviously the last match was on telly, and that but you will see the game to a lot closer eye.
Yeah.
And you know what? I was watching Chelsea, and when I seen Chelsea play, I was thinking they've got great players, but they don't play as a team. Where we've had a lot of time with Michael Carrick. So it's like we really, I think we'll get there. I really do. I'm not just saying it because I'm a fan and we've won 1-0. I'm saying it because I think obviously Liverpool will probably qualify over Fulham, but and that's a hard game. That's a really hard game, but I think we'll get there. I hope we really do, because I'll be there. I'll be there if we are.
And how big would it be for the city of Middlesbrough if Middlesbrough do get to a cup final?
Oh, listen, massive. Middlesbrough Football Club is the heart of Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough football, it's huge. It's absolute. The other week when we beat Chelsea, it was in that stadium. It was absolutely bouncing. It was like I've never experienced that. I never got to go to the game when we drew with Brighton and get promoted for the first time in like 10 years. But I'd seen it on telly. But just that feeling being there, it was like tenfold on that. I think it was a hard game for us, but it just showed that we could actually do it, and we beat them. And obviously we'd lost to Villa the weekend before after a good game, but it was just a good match. Match in general, but for the town, it's huge. And if we get a Wembley, if we go to Chelsea and if we win 1-0 or draw 1-1 0-0, it's huge. It's massive. It'll absolutely it'll boost everything if we get there. But like you're saying there, it's put no point taking part. You've got to go there and win. You're not there to take part. It's not about getting there. It's about winning.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm looking forward to that game, and I'm sure everybody over this side of London and also in Middlesbrough are going to be looking forward to that semi-final second leg.
Oh, what part of London are you from?
I'm originally from Southwest London, so not too far from Chelsea, but I'm an Arsenal fan. But we won't talk too much about how we're doing this season. But that's a big game next week. And obviously, I know a lot about Middlesbrough over the years. When you had Viduka and you had Mendy and stuff like that, I grew up in that era. So Middlesbrough's a massive club and a massive history. So yeah, next week should be a massive game as well. It should be a good game.
Yeah. Course, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm at work on Saturday. We're playing Rotherham, so it's a big difference. We'll go from Rotherham on Saturday, Tuesday, to in Chelsea to semi-final of the League Cup. It's a bit of a mad one, really.
Yeah. I want to ask you. Now we're just mentioning Middlesbrough and stuff like that. Obviously, you have aspirations of going on to winning loads of titles, maybe potentially going on winning world titles. How big would it be for you to one day fight at the Riverside Stadium?
I think that is the pinnacle of it, of my career. Just to bring something like that to the hometown of Middlesbrough would be huge. And I think for a world title, fantastic. I think it's getting there, and I've got to do it, and I've got to prove myself and everything. But do I think I'll do it? Yeah, I do. I really do think I'll do it. But it's one of them things I've got to prove to everyone. I've got to constantly keep proving to myself that I can do it. So I'm looking forward to just getting there, getting this year out the way, and then keep pushing and pushing and pushing. But the ambition is to get to the Riverside and sell the Riverside out as a world title fight. But I think it's huge. It could be huge. I really do think it could be one of the massive fights. And people always say, "Oh, like yourself, a lot of boxing's London based." But I think I want to fight in my hometown, and especially I want to bring something back to Middlesbrough. And like I said, Middlesbrough, I love Middlesbrough. It's my hometown, but it's a working area. Do you know what I mean? It's a very lot of working class people, and I think to bring something like that as big as it could be for myself and the town, I think would probably that'd be the highlight. That'd be the pinnacle.
Yeah, brilliant. I want to talk a bit about the heavyweight division now, because this week we just seen a press conference for Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou, which is going to be taking place in March in Saudi Arabia. Then you got Tyson Fury against Alexander Usyk for the undisputed heavyweight world titles. How excited are you for as a heavyweight fighter and as a boxing fan that you were seeing such massive heavyweight fights again?
The Usyk and Tyson has to happen, and I still believe Joshua and Fury has to happen. There's no way if it's missed out. And Joshua Wilder needs to happen. I think a lot of people think because Parker has missed out because Parker, had beat Wilder. I think people think, oh, well, that fight's over and done and dusted. But for their legacies and for this era of boxing, how Joshua's probably brought the heavyweight game back, but how good the heavyweight game's been, especially them three, the three kings. Like, those are the four kings, they've been the three kings, and they're the fights that everyone wants to see. And they have to fight each other. I mean, Alexander Usyk's chucked himself in the mix now, so you've got to say the four kings. But for me, it's just opened the game massively, and I think once them, if you're talking to in honesty, they're at the back end of the careers now. These are the last few fights you're going to see them, and I think once they go, there'll be a massive miss, and it'll leave a massive gap. Like I said, for myself and loads of people start trying to clamber on, and you can see a lot of heavyweights now trying to build up because they're at the back end of it. And like Tyson says all the time, he says, "I don't know how many fights I've got left. It's not many," and he always says, "This one's the last one," but it's going to be it's so wide open, and I think it's so important that these fights happen now. To be honest, I don't really agree with Ngannou and Joshua fight. I think it should have been Wilder and Joshua, even though he got beat, and probably Parker thinks I deserve to be in there. I'm definitely going to say Joshua should have just took the Wilder fights, and I still want to fight Wilder. He's got to. I know it's lost that little bit of pizzazz about it, I think, because he'd got beat, but listen, it's still a massive fight. No matter what you do, no matter if they've both been knocked out the last three fights, still a huge fight for the pair of them. So I think I don't think you should have took Ngannou. I think you should have just took Deontay.
Yeah, a lot of people probably agree with you there. A lot of people have said obviously they would love to see the Wilder fight. Obviously, the Wilder performance last time out against Joseph Parker wasn't a great performance, and obviously, don't take nothing away from Joseph Parker. He's absolutely fantastic on that, and he rolled back the years. We got the old Joseph Parker back there, but I want to talk a bit about the Tyson Fury Alexander Usyk fight and how you see this fight going. And can you see, obviously, favorite is Tyson Fury because of the size and the history, being undefeated lineal champion. But can you see a shock happening, or can you see Tyson Fury bouncing back from that performance against Ngannou with a win?
I can't take that Tyson fight serious when Ngannou. I don't know. Sometimes I think, I don't know if he took it serious or not. He said he trained, and then I think, did he train? Did he or didn't he? I don't really know. So I wouldn't take that last performance. I think the thing is with Tyson, it's if he shows up, and I think if he thinks, I want this, and let's be honest, he needs to beat Usyk. He needs to beat Usyk because he needs that. He needs that thing in his career where he's like, if he loses to Usyk, people will just go, oh, well, he had his chance and that was it. But he'll rise to the occasion. And he does. He did against Deontay Wilder. Everyone, look at that 12th round. And it's the third fight. I thought he was gone in the third fight. I think he thought he was just going to bulldoze, and he come back. So, but boxing needs this fight. Really does need this fight. This is. I think for boxing in general. I know there's a lot of other big fights in the other weights, but the heavyweight's the blue ribbon event at the end of the day. And it's, for me, I think Fury's got to fight Usyk, and there's got to be a undisputed world champion. And for me, I think, I don't know which way it'll go. I wouldn't. It's just impossible to pick. I'd be sat here all day. I could give you the pros and the cons, the goods and the bads all day long of each of them. But for me, I just think whatever it is, and whoever comes out on top, I'm sure it'll be a great fight. But if I was going to have to pick one, you've got to go Tyson. If I had to bet my house on it, I'll bet every single penny, I've to go Tyson, just because of the size. And I think if he turns it on, he turns it on. But I think a lot of people will probably start saying Alexander Usyk because of the last fight. But like I said, I couldn't take that fight serious, and I don't think he did. I can't. He can't sit here and say, oh yeah, he definitely took that fight serious, because I can't see that he did.
Yeah. And back to the Joshua fight. Obviously, he's fighting Ngannou. How big of a fight is this for Joshua? Because people think that obviously he's probably going to go in there and just steamroll this guy and get this guy out. Obviously, but how big of a task is this? Is it obviously because he's a tough guy, and he showed against Tyson Fury after dropping Tyson Fury that he's a durable fighter, and he possesses a lot of power. So how big of a banana skin could this be for Andy Joshua?
Oh, massive. massive. He's. I mean, I read somewhere years ago when he was world champion, so it'll have been a couple of years ago now in the UFC, that said it's like getting it off a Ford Focus going at 60 miles an hour when he hits you. So he's no matter what, if he hits you and he lands on you, you're gonna get hurt and you're gonna go down. But for me, I think Joshua's just got to do what he did against in his last fight against. Sorry, who did he fight last time? Yeah, Otto Watton. He just do that. The exact same thing. If he does the same thing that he did against Wallen, nice and relaxed, showed his old version of himself, he'll outdo. He'll absolutely. I think Josh, the experience Joshua has and the champions he's been in with, definitely. But the thing is with Ngannou, his strength is he's so solid. He's so solid in that stance. If you watched him, when I watched him against Tyson when it was so close, I thought he's got the low left hand and he's so solid on his feet. And you're not going to beat him in a grapple. You're never going to beat him inside because he's just that's where he wants you to be, really, because that's where his strengths are, obviously with the mixed martial arts. But for him himself, I think he's gonna just try and hit him with one shot. He's gonna try and do a Deontay Wilder on him, just probably sit back, throw a few jabs, and just try and hit Joshua, because I think he knows if he hits Joshua will probably struggle to recover. As I don't think he's as good as chin as Tyson does, but Joshua's got all the skill and capabilities to show that against Otto Watson. Definitely, he's just got the ability to go on and do it. And I mean, if you're taking that last fight, I definitely think the old Joshua's come back, but he could have just had a great night. So you just take fight by fight now.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a cracking show. I'm sure loads of people are going to be watching it. I know I will be watching it, and a lot of fans around the world will be watching it, and it's going to be a great night. I want to get back to you a bit. I want to talk a bit about, obviously, your next fight. You're going to be fighting, is it Phil Williams? On the Phil. On the 3rd of February in Middlesbrough. Do you know much about Phil, and what dangers does he possess?
Yeah, listen, I should show the same respect to every opponent. He's been around the block, Phil. He knows what he's doing. So I'd be a fool to go in there and just say, I'm going to go in there and knock him out. And go and bulldoze him. He knows what he's doing. He knows he'll definitely have a plan probably for me, but I know that in my own abilities that I'm capable of beating anyone. So I've just got to show all the respect. But once that bell goes, it's game face. So for me, I know he's been around. He's fought everyone. He's not a man who'll go down. He'll stand and fight. So, and if he turns up, he can turn it on. So I'm looking forward to it because it's a credible fight for myself.
And for anyone who wants to tune in and watch this fight, anyone wants to buy tickets who in Middlesbrough, where would they get tickets, or where would they be able to see this fight?
Get tickets for myself there, or two, on Instagram or Facebook, William Howe. They can get tickets from myself, and there's a live stream on YouTube under Spartan Icons.
Brilliant. William, thank you for your time, mate. I'm looking forward to your fight. I'm looking forward to seeing you get be under the lights and put on the show. And I wish you nothing but the best in that fight. And I'm sure we'll speak again soon, mate.
Cheers, pal. Thank you. Look forward to speaking soon.
Thank you. Take care now.